Hello and welcome to the Booming with Banna podcast. My name is Ahmed Elbanna, and today you're watching another one of our very best episodes with Mr. Khaled.
أهلا.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself before we dive right in?
Okay, أنا Khaled Yeslam. I'm an actor. I'm a father of five, and I worked in many things in my life till 2016. I discovered acting, and I fell in love with it. And since 2018, I quit my job to become a full-time actor, and that's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Acting in the Middle East, normally when you're talking with your parents, it's doctor, lawyer, engineer. It's only those three options. How did entering something like this, how did your family react? How did you feel about it?
I'm a storyteller, so I'm gonna share my story. I'm gonna respond to that by stories. Believe it or not, I never thought about becoming an actor all my life. I mean, my dream job was to become a novelist. And in 2016, a friend of mine, his name Mahmoud al-Sabbagh, he's a film director, and he was shooting a film called Baraka Yuqabil Baraka. He saw a post of mine on Instagram, like I was wearing some clothes and that. And he DM'd me asking me like if I can play a role in his film with these clothes, with this character. And since then, okay, I tried with him, and the response and the feedback was like, wow, you're great. You're an amazing actor. I never thought about it. I was shocked. But I was interested, like, okay, let's do that. And that happened when I was 34 years old. So just put that in your mind. Like, you might become 20, 30, or 40 without knowing what to do in this life. It's fine. You're gonna discover something that you're gonna fall in love with. So that what happened to me. I fell in love with acting, and then in 2018, I had my first opportunity to be a protagonist of the first Saudi feature film called Rolim. So I quit my job to do the film, and I think that was wrong. I shouldn't quit my job. I could manage both of them. But if I looked about acting, I have to, go back to 2006, 2005, when I was a student at the CBA, which is UBT right now. While I was in college, I tried modeling. So I tried modeling. There was like a bullet point in the restaurants, and with all these names of agencies and contacts, and I applied for that. I did my casting and audition, just for the sake of the thrill. And I start working as a model for a couple of years, so I wasn't shy from the camera. And beside that, I was at the student union, and I was a co-founder of one of the volunteer groups. So I gave some workshops on the stage. So I wasn't afraid from the stage. I wasn't afraid from the crowd. I think that the main reason that helped me to become an actor like 10 or 15 years later. If you're not afraid, or you don't shy from the camera, and you don't have anxiety or any stress from the stage or the audience, you're like 70 to 80% an actor.
Yeah.
So that helped me that shaped me to be a good actor.
The thing is, with public speaking or with appearing in front of camera, it's, I think, the second most popular fear in the entire world, right?
Yeah.
So when you identify someone that can do something like this, it's a very big like wow, like it's a very big wow moment. For others who want to do the things you're saying, who want to put themselves out there, right? But their only thing holding them back is the camera. What advice would you have for someone like that?
It's fine if you're afraid of the camera. You don't need to be on the stage. You can be behind this. You can be behind the cameras. I work with some of the great DOPs. DOPs, director of the photography. I work with some of the great DOPs who are afraid from the camera, but they're really good and professional behind the camera. It's fine. I don't think it's a must to be an artist. You don't need to be front of the camera all the time. And again, if you want to be if you want to be in front of the camera on the stage, it's fine. You can do it. It's easy. Actually, people are looking up to you. So they're
Yeah.
always excited to see you on the stage. They're always excited to hear from you. It's fine. Go do it. Enjoy it. The most difficult thing is probably the first 30 seconds, because you get the kicks of the adrenaline,
Yeah.
and it's either going to be, in your benefits or going to be against you,
Yeah.
So try always to crack a joke, enjoy the anxiety, enjoy the moment. It's fine to look silly at the first, and the audience gonna accept you. And if you failed, it's fine. If you flopped, it's fine. It happens all the time. The most famous stand-up comedians, the most famous actors, they flopped at the beginning, and it's always okay. You're always gonna have a second chance. Actually, the good thing about acting, there's no money, there's no assets that you're wasting, or it's an experience, and as long you're living, you can have a second or third or fourth experience, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it.
I think that's with everything in life, right? Like, just do it. Just enjoy it. What's holding you back from it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're not spending money. You're not losing someone. It's just
Yeah.
an experience. Do it. You have not. What if you flopped? It's fine. At least it didn't work.
Yeah.
There's a learning curve, and always learning curve comes with pain, which is it's the
Byproduct.
bright. Yeah, there's a bright side in everything.
Yeah. That's interesting to say, because a lot of us, one of the other like biggest fears is the fear of failure. And you can't get anywhere without failing. You can't get anywhere without realizing you were held back or pushed back. So I want to ask you, what was in your opinion, the lowest point in your career when it came to this sort of thing? And how did that help you?
So probably the lowest point in my career was when I quit my job. I quit my job when I was 36 years old. I was already father of 5. I had so much responsibilities, but I was driven by passion of art, and I consider quitting my job is the most selfish act I did. I lost the sustainable income, I lost the health benefits, I lost all that. But I think I owe that to myself. I call that a selfish act because I risked this sustainable life for my kids. But again, I owe that to myself because I wasn't happy with my job, and I don't think a miserable father gonna be a good father to his kids.
Yeah.
So that's why I quit my job. The lowest point, again, it was because of financial. It's a financial things. It's not artistic. I mean, I was doing well artistically, but financially, I was struggling,
Yeah.
and that's why I think we always hear this form of saying struggling artist. It's always been like that. It's always going to be like that, and yeah, I think that was the lowest point.
It's very hard to break into the field, but when you're there, it's a lot better.
It is a lot better, but again, I believe in life. Life comes in packages. You can't ask for sustainable, guaranteed, dull job, and on the same time, you want to have adventurous, exciting, creative.
You need to sacrifice.
Yes, it's either this or that. I mean, it's challenging. Maybe you can do it both, but usually it's either this or that.
Yeah.
And believe me, if anyone want to become an actor, you have to be really passionate about it. It doesn't make any sense to be an actor, simply because you're doing too much effort. I mean, if you did it for a 9-to-5 job, definitely you're gonna have a higher payroll. But the thrill and the fun that comes out of it, it's
Yeah.
great. It's worth it. I had the opportunity to act as a chief officer. I had the opportunity to work as a hustler. I had the opportunity to work as a musical conductor, and I couldn't do that if I worked in a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah. And I read on one of the articles about you is you said, and I'm obviously translating here, that every time you act, you put yourself in a new role, and it gives you it's the ability to switch characters with every role, right? Tell me more about that experience when you're actually acting, when you go from being a conductor to a hustler to et cetera, et cetera. Like artistically and for yourself, what makes this click compared to any other art or any other job?
I'm a big fan of novels. I'm a big fan of books. And if you ask people the bookworms, if you ask them why they love to read, is because it's immersive experience. You can use your imagination and forget your reality at least for a moment. It's the same with acting, but you're taking it to a higher extent. Instead of be a two-dimensional experience, it's a three-dimensional experience. It's an immersive experience. It's like you're taking a vacation from your reality to be in different reality.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm driven by. I think life is short, and acting is giving me the opportunity to live many lives
Yeah.
in this short period.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I genuinely, it's so interesting because when like life is short and now you're living different lives, it's very hard to say something like that for any other person. When you look at most places or most of the people like my age, is they want to be a engineer, they want to be a model, they want to be this. But nobody ever says, why can't I be all of them? And then the acting gives you the opportunity to be every single one of those things.
It is. And, you know, I'm an ex-Aramco. I worked in Aramco before. I worked in the real estate. I have a bachelor degree in marketing. I worked in the marketing agencies. I worked in a PR agency. I worked in a content and design agency. And I always felt that I'm missing something till I become an actor. Again, that doesn't mean the other fields are bad. It's okay.
So what's right for you?
Yeah, I mean, it suits me, but it probably won't suit my kids. If they want to work in a 9 to 5 job, fine. It's okay. And I would highly recommend people in your age to try acting while they're still in school or they're still in the college. It's not about the curriculum only. It's about the life experience, the benefits of that in your
Yeah.
in your learning stage. It's not always to be a professional actor. Acting is a therapy by itself. Some people who goes to the shrink or go to the psychiatrist being advised to act because sometimes it's easier to let the character speaks about your subconscious, to speak about your personal traumas by the character tongue.
Not you saying it.
Yeah, it's not me. I'm not telling my story. I'm telling the character story. But again, sometimes you find some similarities between you and the character that you're doing. So it becomes personal for you, and it's a therapy. Please, guys, go and try acting, even in your personal life. It's not always you have to be a perfect. It's fine, but it's an act. I say something, it's like when I play different role, it's like you're falling in love again. And sometime when you're done with the project, it's like your heart gonna be broken again. Which is, yes, it's hurtful, but it gives you meaning for life, I guess.
Yeah. Which one of your projects would you say is your favorite?
Rolim. It's a movie called Rolim, and it's because that's the movie that I quit my job for it and to do it. And I have a lot of memories behind the scenes. I have a lot of stories about it. And I always say that to do the thing that I love, I had to lose someone I love. Was it easy? Nope. Worth it? Yes.
Yeah.
So remember that if you're doing something against the odds, you might lose a lot of things, but go follow your passion. And if you failed, it's fine. At least you try to do something that you love. If you failed, it's fine. You still have many opportunities. You still, you should allow yourself to discover many things and different passion in life.
Yeah. the thing that like
Oh, it's become really dark with my thoughts.
no, 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 no. No, what I'm thinking of is I want to challenge your idea because like let's say like I'll give you a personal experience, right? Recently in our English class, we're working on the college essay process and all this. And there's a friend of mine in one of those classes. They don't know what they want to study, but what they do know is they have a love for English. The language, the structure, novels, writing, poems. They have such a big love for this thing, right? But for them there's this something inside, they're like, I can't major in English, like that's not gonna, like there's no return on investment, the chance of a return on investment isn't as high. So on the other hand, one of our teachers here, he's leaving, he loved English and he went with that risk. He didn't care what other options or job opportunities. He did English, he got a master's, then he now works here. It worked out for him, right? But it doesn't for everybody else. Where do you draw a line where you need to stop taking risks? Like, how do you like tell yourself, I need to stop taking risks, I need to pick something safer, or you live only once, just go ahead and do it?
Honestly, I'm clueless. I have no clue. Uh, it's a good thing to give yourself a deadline. Like, listen, I'm gonna take a break for a year, and I'm gonna follow my passion for a year, 2 years. Just put it on a calendar, and if it didn't work out, it's fine. I'm gonna go back to my sustainable, safe life. And you always, especially with the art, you always can do it on a side of your main job. It's fine till it becomes feasible to quit your job.
Yeah.
So having a deadline, having a time span about it, it's a good idea. Again, you have to be really passionate about it, and I hope people do it for the right reasons. Like, if you want to become an actor just to be a famous, you're probably in the wrong field.
Yeah.
It's very easy to be famous in this age. You can be on one of the social media platforms and become famous in a day or two, but that's not the main reason to become an actor. An actor is a storyteller. If you have stories to share, if you want to be in someone's story, it's fine.
Yeah.
And yeah, always try to draw a line to experience that, and especially in the college. In college, they always give you this general electives, subject to try different things in life. I heard that there is a study, I'm not sure about it, but it says like 70% of people who graduate from college, they work in different field than what they studied. So it's fine. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
But again, it's always a good idea to have a safety net. So do your bachelor degree, go and graduate. Always keep this safety net and take a risk. Just a rational risk.
Yeah.
You can't ask people to jump from a building and think they're gonna fly. That's not rational. Yes, it's a risk, but it's a silly idea.
Yeah.
But you can use some VFX on computer and so again,
Yeah.
there's always a way to follow your passion.
Yeah. So if you'd say your solution is to, not solution, but the approach is to like dip your feet in that pond carefully, not entirely. Don't jump into the pond, just dip it, see how it goes. And when you have the floaty, jump inside.
Hey, exactly. Like, I remember in one of the shows, I brought my daughter to act as my daughter. And it's an opportunity, like people would get really thrilled and excited for it. 2 days later, she said, nah, I don't want to become an actress. So that was great. She knows now that she don't want to end up being an actress. She preferred to work as a producer, to work behind the scenes, though she doesn't have any problem with the camera. But she didn't enjoy that.
Yeah.
So again, every time I say that to the young people, like, try different things in your life. It's not only acting. Try writing. Try, I don't know. Just try many things. It's fine. You have nothing.
Especially when you're young as well.
Yes.
Because Like,
The risk is lower.
exactly. Like the safety net, your parents are the safety net. You know, if you're trying an acting thing when you're 17, 16 and it doesn't work, you're still in school, everything's fine, you didn't drop out, right? So,
And you have less responsibility, you know.
exactly.
I mean, in the end, what? If, let's say you got really broke, you can eat, you know, sandwich jubna. And that's fine. You can sleep on it. You can have one meal a day. But if you have the kids and you have family and you have responsibility, the risk is higher.
Yeah.
So take the opportunity by, you know, being in a less risk phase and take more risk.
Would you rather live in a world where you have everything, the cars, the food, the house, but you're doing something you don't love? So there's no financial burden at all. Like you are at the top of the mountain. Or do something you love and be like medium financially.
You know, I prefer to fail in something something I'm passionate about it than to be success in something I hate. That's only me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the answer.
Yeah. It's a big debate amongst people, like what you're saying, because you'll find the rich people, they're not working in something they love. They're probably working in some electrical management or some plumbing system thing, right? Just it makes money and they have the money, but it's not something they love, right? So it becomes an argument about doing what you're passionate at or doing what gives you the highest ROI. That's always the debate between those two.
Okay, I said something like quitting my job was a mistake because now I realize like I could have done both of them.
Yeah.
So the smart thing is like, yes, to find a job with a high ROI, and if you can have enough time to follow your passion on the side, you know, save some money, find a job with a less effort in it that gives you an opportunity to, you know,
To try.
to try your passion.
So
It's
you'd
fun.
say your compass in life is doing what you're passionate about.
Yeah, always try to keep a safety net behind you, and you know, uh, don't be radical. Life is not only black and white. There's a huge gray zone in the middle. So enjoy the gray zone.
Yeah.
And again, having 9 to 5 job doesn't mean you can't become an artist. So
Yeah.
take it easy. Don't be hard on yourself. Taste the water. You know, just see how things gonna go.
And if it happens, it happens.
If it happens, it happens. If it's flopped, it's flopped. It's fine. You know, failure
Yeah.
failure is one step to your success.
Yeah.
So take it easy.
For others, let's more specifically about art fields, right? This normally 20 years back in the Middle East, you would not find opportunities, right? In the Middle East where it's with acting or writing or any of this stuff. So now, obviously, it's a different world. It's a different landscape in that field. 17-year-old person, what advice would you give them to go and try this out? Who do they go to? What do they do?
Okay. You mean in acting field,
Yeah.
right? Okay. I always have this question from people like, I want to become an actor. What should I do? Where's the first step? And here I'm talking about people in Jeddah because I know Jeddah more
Yeah.
than other places. We can start with Hay Jamil, if you know it. It's an artist hub here in Jeddah. It's a really safe and nice place, at least for networking, you know, to have a glimpse of the art field here in Jeddah. And in Hay Jamil, there's a place called Fennec. And they give all these free workshops about improv, stand-up comedians, acting, writing, you know. Go there, follow them on social media, check their website. If you had an opportunity to work with the students, I love working with the students, by the way. I really love working with the students because these young people are more creative and they're not willing to compromise their artistic point of view. So it's more, you know, it's more fun
Yeah.
to work with these people. And I owe that a lot to, you know, at college. I worked like 4 or 5 projects with them. So follow the film buffs on social media, on real life. Go to the to these art hubs like Hey Jamil. Participate in these workshops. Do some networking. Just talk with these people. It always give you an opportunity, to be in one of their projects.
Yeah.
And there you can check yourself. Also, MBC has this thing called MBC Academy. You can go there, do your audition. So there is a lot of opportunity right now, and I guess this generation is luckier than ours.
Yeah.
So I have some tips for people who loves acting. Like, don't just watch Hollywood films. You should watch different culture films. Black and white films, French films, Iranian films, Middle Eastern films, Korean, Japanese. Because it gives you a different sense of reality. You can't be a good actor while you are detached from your reality. The best way to become an international success is to focus on the local audience. So these simple stuff, it helps you.
Yeah.
إيش كمان?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think I'll tell you a little bit about my experience. We used to have an acting class at the school here at AISJ, and I think the very first time I ever tried it, you've obviously heard of what is it called? It's the Seussical with Dr. Seuss, the cat. Yeah. So that was my first stint at acting. I don't know if it was Isa Hafiz. For those who don't know, he's a friend of mine. He used to attend AISJ. I think it was his as well. But that was my first try ever. And it's taboo here. Like it's looked down upon. Like it's not something that many people will willingly do. But I was in 6th grade. I was like 12. So when you're 12, nothing really holds you back. You just do it for fun. And I tried it out. And I think what gives me the most thrill is knowing you're an actor, not the acting itself, like the makeup and the head, the set, that's the mic that you're putting on. For me, like Ahmed, my experience is playing the role of actor, not the actual role, is the new experience, right? And I feel like that's something everyone should try out. I think it's different from public speaking. A while ago at the school, we did a TEDx at AISJ, and it's different from public speaking it's I feel like it's not really formatted. Like I feel like you'll have your lines memorized, yeah, but you're gonna go in there and you can just say whatever you want. Like you can say the lines, but in a way it's different. You get what I mean? And I think that's what makes it different from all the other public speaking, all the other camera stuff. If I had the chance, I think I would have continued it here. But in terms of other people, the stuff you're saying, the NBC Academy, all those things, I think we live in a time where there is low risk but high reward in this age, like in 16, 18. No risk, but there's a very high reward if you go out and try.
You should try. I mean, again, I can't live with the idea, what if?
Yeah.
I prefer to fail than to live with the idea, what if, And again, you have nothing to lose, Just go and try it. And one more thing I want to add. In all my period of school, I never been on the stage. I was always afraid to be on the stage. I always tried to be, back in the class.
Yeah.
So again, if you don't, you might discover new things about yourself, once you get older and older. So there's no rush.
Yeah.
Take it easy. Don't put more pressure on yourself. If you don't like it, it's fine. Maybe you're going to discover something else. Explore life. Take that advantage of exploring life. Life is more than being successful in one field and be, an A-listed guy. No, life is there's a many aspect and many.
It's an experience.
It is experience, and there's a many layers in life. So easy. Don't put a lot of pressure on yourself. Everything gonna goes smoothly. Enjoy it. either acting, either my dream job was to become actually I was dreaming when I was a kid. I was dreaming to become an electronical engineer. I was really good in physics and in math, but life
Takes its course.
it takes, yeah, and it's fine.
Yeah. I think what I'm very interested in is you said you made that switch from your career to acting at 34.
Yes.
So being that old and with the responsibilities you had, what's the one thing in your mind, the tick, like I want to do this? What is that feeling or emotion or experience that made you take that decision?
Uh, okay. It's the first time I felt my shoes fit. I always felt there's some stone in my shoes when I worked. Till I tried acting, I suddenly everything made sense to me. I was on time. I was working more than 12 hours a day. I wasn't complaining. I had the thrill. There's a saying بالعربي, I don't know how to say it in English, اللي هو زوجوه يعقل. You know it.
No.
زوجوه يعقل, okay, if someone who's like crazy in all the places and that, and let him get married, he's gonna be settled. I believe it's the same with acting. If you know someone who's like wanna explore life and do many things and that, and he's there and there, just try acting. It's gonna help you to settle. It's a place to purge all these craziness in your head. And then at that moment, I discovered like, oh, I can settle now. I feel in peace. There's no more chaos in my head. I'm exhausted in a good way.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
Hatta I also think the only like art experience I have is at the school. I run a magazine club. We make
MashaAllah.
magazines for the school.
MashaAllah.
That's the only experience with designing and art and all this. But I feel like the similar feeling, which I don't think you can get with other jobs, is seeing the final product. Like for me, when I print the magazines and I put them out and I sell them to people, it's a different feeling inside of yourself. That's like, يعني تعبي شغلي, my efforts.
It's like you're seeing your baby.
Yeah, exactly.
It is.
How does it feel for you when you finished recording something and you're watching it on the big screen?
It is kind of rewarding, but on the other hand, people are watching my act. The audience are watching my act. But for me, I'm watching my memories, and it's kind of different experience,
Yeah.
I know before this shot, I had a phone call. It was a good phone call. It was a sad phone call.
Yeah.
And it's different. I try to watch it as an audience, but again,
It's the background, the memory.
the memory, I remember once I was doing an ad for one of the clients, and I should look, fun and comedy and saying jokes. And before we start shooting, I had a phone call that my daughter was in the ICU. Again, I can't be unprofessional. I have to be professional. So I had to smile and laugh while I know my daughter's risking her life and she's fighting for her life in the ICU. And this is part of acting, in different jobs, people don't see your face. You can work on Excel sheet, you can work on the paper, it's fine. You can be professional, you can separate your personal life from your job. The problem with acting or the problem with the camera, you have to hide these things.
Yeah.
You have to close it and dig it down inside, deep inside yourself.
Yeah.
So again, it has its own perks and its own cons. Yeah. I don't know why I said that. I just remember this story.
Yeah. I like it. Honestly, what I like the most about everything you're telling me is it's so rare and it's like a beam of light when you find someone who did what they loved. That's so hard to find.
Again, I want to say something. I mean, honestly, I'm like, 42 years old now? I'm still, if I discover something new and a new passion, I'm willing to go for it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm going to discover something beside acting. Why not?
Yeah.
And I'm open. So just keep this gate open,
Yeah. Just always look for the opportunities, always look for
and
this.
don't judge people who works 9 to 5. Again, maybe they following their passion, maybe have more responsibilities, maybe they have different things in their head. So it's fine. It's fine if you want to become, someone who walks in sandals and someone who put a suits.
Yeah.
It's okay.
There's no measurement for success.
Exactly. It's always subjective, success. Maybe to have a healthy mental, physical life is more success than to have, all these luxurious lifestyle while you're sick or you're toxic.
Yeah.
So again, success is relative.
Yeah. That's a very important question to ask. Like, I feel like everyone should get asked, like how do you measure success? And everybody's answer will be different, and that's how you know that it's about where you want to end up in life. And with that, I'd want to ask, I feel like I already know the answer to the question, but in 10 years, where do you want to see yourself?
In the mirror. Honestly, I just want to see my kids proud of me. They're the main audience. They're more the most essential film critique, because they're honest. At least they're honest with me. And again, in acting, I get the fulfillment and the whole joy of acting through the process, not only by the result.
Yeah.
So I hope in 10 years I can, see happiness in their eyes, either from acting or from something else. I'm fine with it. And I want to be happy with them,
Yeah. That's another thing my dad always tells me is like, he's a firm believer in studying hard, working hard, all this. And it's for the one reason, and it's when you go to university, you can do what you love. Because when you're good at everything academically, you can go in English or in math or in biology. So that's always his biggest argument. It's like work very hard so that you can do what you love, and there isn't a burden of waking up every morning, So then I'd also wanna like ask, in your like morning when you wake up, what's the difference in feeling when you wake up to go to a set and when you wake up to go to the office?
Man, it's totally different. Sometimes you wake up to live, and sometimes you wake up to make a living.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
You can't live without making living. So, you have to balance it.
Yeah, both sides of the coin.
Even if there's was bitterness in your mouth, it's fine. You can't live without making living. This is the balance.
Yeah. For people interested in art at this age, no, not just acting, anything, what do you tell them? Because I'll tell you this one thing. What I noticed is when you I have a friend, he started this one, he's business oriented. He wants to do economics, finance in university. And he started this one account for it, or like to talk about news and all this. Never posted, And I asked him why. I didn't get the best answer, but what it like hinted towards me, it's like, there's. I feel like there is a negative stigma or look at trying new things for the first time. How does someone overcome something like that? When you start a new project, normally people are looking like, yeah, what's this guy doing? It's a very different view, and how someone's supposed to look past something like that? Because sometimes it can break you down. Like someone starts an account for whatever, a couple of people say a few things, you're like, okay, خلاص, never mind.
I mean, I think this is a process of creativity. Creativity is doing something everyone did before in a different way. So it's always going to be weird for them.
Yeah.
But that's fine. Again, creativity means you're going to have 99 trials of failure and 1% of success. So it's fine to fail. You should expect failing more than success in it.
That's such a hard thing to accept.
It is at the beginning, but then you're gonna get used to it, and you're gonna have thick skin, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Again, there's a law in business like high risk, higher profit. On the other hand, is low risk, low profit. You just put that in your mind, and don't jump on it. Again, we said that before. Just taste the water.
Yeah.
Explore life, man.
Yeah.
You still have the chance to explore that. I mean, you're the generation with the AI, so you have a new and you have a new source of competition. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'd want to shift on something like this, because I don't know the answer. With all the tech advancement and the AI and all these things, how do you think your industry is going to change?
I have no clue, and I think it's for me. I'm living the present right now,
Yeah.
so I'm clueless about it.
I think that's such a good mindset as well when you say that you're um, living in the present. Like you don't. I don't want to say you don't care. Like obviously you care.
No, I do care.
Yeah.
But I don't want to put an extra stress on myself.
Yeah. It's like there's no reason to worry about something like this right now.
And what if the AI came and changed the whole field? I won't be the only actor who's gonna face that. So
Yeah.
the whole field gonna
Would
face
change,
that.
yeah.
So definitely there's gonna be a new gate.
Of opportunity.
Of opportunity.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
It's a different way to look at
It is.
everything.
It is.
I want to ask you about your I think, if I'm not mistaken, your latest role in acting is a film about the founding of the Ittihad Football Club.
Oh, that was like a year and a half
Oh, never
ago.
mind.
It's fine. Yeah.
And so I saw this one, and then the newest one on Netflix,
Which one?
Basma.
Basma.
Yes.
Oh, the one with Isa.
Yes. Those two, and then there's a lot of other ones. And I think the other thing I read, and this is where I want to mix everything in, is I think in Los Angeles, you won an award for Best Horror Film Actor, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So right now there's there's I don't know the genre of like these. There's like a historical documentary, and then there's one about an experience, and now there's horror, right? What do you like the most?
Well, there's a category I didn't work in yet, and I really looking up for it. Romance, drama romance, or comic romance. I really want to try that. But I love these I love short films more than the feature films because it's fulfill my artistic point of views.
Yeah.
So, and I can't put my finger on which category or on which
Yeah.
genre. It's the whole script and the whole experience.
Is what you love about it.
It is what I love about it.
Yeah.
I hate these commercial short, with the fast cuts in it. No, I love these slow, subtle, long frame, long shots.
Yeah.
I love these kind of movies. But again, it's as long as the director is happy with it, I'm good with it.
Yeah.
I'm one of these actor who doesn't ask the director to show him the frame or to show him the shooting. Like, I'm here to do the character and leave
Yeah. The
That's
way
what-
you want it done.
the way you want it.
Yeah.
I have this responsibility to do what's written. You have this, the unwritten agreement to represent what is written on the script.
Yeah. And with that, how does the dynamic, like if you look at any regular job, you'll have the worker and you have the PR and the HR and all these different fields. But in acting, it's very different. You've got the producer, the photography team, the actors. How would you compare both of those, the regular field and something like acting? Like, how's it different?
Well, we don't use much emails. That's a start. You're not in the cubics. But again, there's a chain of commands, again, as every other field in acting, in art, in business. You're always going to have a chain of commands in a different way. There's a vertical, there's a horizontal. But again, you build this special relationships with your colleagues in acting. with your director as your boss, or as your guidance, or as your friend, and that's kind of different from regular jobs.
Yeah.
But again, there's a what they call it, job specifics when you apply for a job. I forgot what they said.
Application,
Not
job.
an application. Your responsibilities in jobs in when you work in a job, it's specific. It's clear. Like that's your responsibility. In acting, you don't know what you're doing. So,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of time you don't know what you're doing. You just go with your feelings.
And you just like do as the vibe, the energy.
The vibe, the energy. Actually, they're paying for you not because you're good looking or because you have a great voice. No, they're paying for you because you have a good sense, and you have to share this sense.
Yeah. How, when it comes to like the field, how would you compare the West to the Middle East?
I think the industry is more mature over there, but again, we are booming here. It's a new gate, it's a new chance. So it's gonna take us a while, but again, we are full of talents here.
Yeah.
I mean, we are young generation over here. I mean, you can see all these people, on YouTube and social media, and they're really creative about it. They know how to share their thoughts in different way. You saw what they did with, with the recent, sadly, events in Gaza, and they used all their creativity and by
Spread awareness about it. Yeah.
yes, exactly, through the art, through poetry. So I think we have a good future. We have
And
a
it's
good
also it's I also think the one thing you can do with art that you can't do with any other field is advocate for change.
exactly.
Like if you're never gonna find like like the engineer will advocate for change in the car, like changing the gear, okay? But in acting you're changing, or in any other art, you're changing the social fabric of the world.
Well, I believe art is another form of language. So it's a language. You can use it as you want.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think the last and like the one question I want an answer for myself is how, for others, because you've worked with students, how is the schedule, or how does it look like for acting school or a major in film or any of these things? How does that compare to the regular major?
You mean the professional, the difference between professional studies and between the
No, like if I'm an engineering major, I have my mechanics class and this class and this class, and then I have a lab, and then I have to work at this homework when I go home. But then for film, like when I look at it online, right? It's I have like it's all projects. Some classes here, some editing, some film, some video. So in terms of the university students, you've worked in both the professional, like the working field, or the labor field, and then the art field. What's the difference in the way you're educated in both of them?
Okay, with the professional, there's a clear steps. We're not talking about art only. We're talking about different field like engineering or marketing or whatever. There's a clear steps. You have to follow it because it's tangible things. But with art, go with the motivations. Yes, there's some to-do list also, but it's more, it's more, I don't know how to say it. It's more mixed. I think it's not clear. It's not really rigid.
Yeah.
It's not raw. And again, when I talk about art, I think studying art helps you to shape your skill. But sometimes it's either you have it or you don't.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
How can you identify that, whether you have it or you don't?
By trying. Sometimes when you try stuff, the idea itself, it's fun. But once you try it, you discover that no, that's
That's not what I want to do.
exactly.
Yeah.
So always try these stuff. And I believe in acting, it's studying acting is not a must. It helps you to shape your talent. But if you don't have it, even if you study it,
Talent is like the key to the door,
exactly.
and then the hard work and all these other things, it's what gets you through into the room.
And it helps you. I mean, again, studying is it's essential, but you can with art you can study these days with the internet. You don't have any excuses. You can
Yeah.
watch YouTubes, you can read books, you can hear audiobooks,
Yeah.
and all this stuff gonna help you to shape your talent. But again, that doesn't mean it's a must. If you have it, you have it. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah.
It's fine. You can see, I mean, DiCaprio, there's some film of DiCaprio when he was like, what, 10, 11 years old. And the guy was brilliant. Though he didn't go to school, he didn't study acting, he didn't study art. So sometime when you got it, you got it. It's fine.
Yeah. I guess the one of the last things we do before we like end off the episode is, from my point of view, what questions would you have to someone in my generation for me to answer?
Well, especially with all these social media and all these, platforms, the question is, what does, affects you, or what challenges you face in this, in this age?
In like academic, mental, social, emotional,
Professionally.
professionally, as in like my development.
Exactly. Career wise.
Mm. No, the people you are around. It's the biggest, like for me, when I, like my friends or other people, it's the biggest indicator of how successful someone's gonna be. Not successful as in like the successful, I mean not money, but are you like here are characteristics of anybody that's successful. You have ambition, you're disciplined, you know what you want. This is for any type of success, right? Whether it's you want a fit body, or you want to be an actor, you want to be a great engineer, right? For me, I feel like at this age, and whether it's as a parent or if you're in high school or in any other part of your life, you need to identify if the people you're with are good for you, right? The friends I have, the people I talk to, they're very, yani, they help you get to the place you want to be. Sometimes maybe not everyone has the same goals in life. Not everyone wants the same thing. But to the best of your ability, and that's why people go, when you go to, if you look at which schools produce the most billionaires, obviously billionaires most of the time because of you inherit it. But when you make your own money, millionaire, billionaire, whatever, it's the top schools, the Ivies. And one of the reasons is because you're in a group, you're in a group of hustlers, you're in a group of people who they all have the same grades from high school. They're all the best in their school. You take a bunch of the people who are the best, you put them together, and they sharpen each other. They make each other better. So I feel like in my generation, the biggest thing to guarantee some form of discipline or success in life is knowing the friends and the people you're around. Because you can come white, abiyad, clean, pure person, you're with the wrong group, you're gonna die in a car crash. You are gonna smoke something, whatever, right? And even if you're 16, this is gonna happen. For me, the biggest thing is the group of people, and you always want them to. They don't have to have the same vision as you, but they have to hold you accountable for when you're not the best that you can be. That's like, even if it's at school, like when I look at it, it's like my friends, or like for me to them, if they get a C on a test, that this is a problem. We're gonna talk about this. How? Come on, you're not like this. So you hold them accountable, and then the next time they'll get the B, and then they'll get the A, and then they'll be at the top of the class, and they'll do the same for you. So it's about sharpening each other, making sure you're looking out for each other, and it needs to be done in high school, because in university your friends. And this is a friend of mine, Ahmed. He told me this. He's like, in university, your friends, they want something from you. Like university, they want a connection with you for the job. Your dad knows someone. It's never as pure as if you were in middle school, high school, in your teenage years. Because Ahmed, I cannot give anyone anything. So if someone's my friend, they're my friend for me, not for my connections or any of this. So the best time to ensure that you have good friendship for life that will help you and professionally is having a good group when you're young.
I agree with you, except for the idea that university is like my best friends. I met him when I was in university, so the experience gonna go.
Yeah.
So don't put much
Yeah,
pressure.
yeah.
Like you're gonna enjoy university.
Yeah, inshallah.
Take it easy,
Inshallah.
inshallah.
All right, with that, I want to thank you so much for coming on for
Habibi
this
Ahmed, I
episode.
was very impressed, and to be honest, the main reason that I wanted to be in this show because I was interested in meeting you.
Alhamdulillah.
So,
Likewise, man. Um, thank you for coming on, sharing your perspective, your point of view. This is normally something people, it's not every school will have acting. Not every school touches on the arts. But being louder about it is what's going to change, right? And even this room, it's an art piece. When I upload this, it's art, you know? And that's what I hope will bring change. Thank you so much for coming on here. And thank you to everybody who watched this, hopefully the whole hour duration of the episode. It will be out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, or Apple Podcasts. Subscribe, like, save, share with your friends, and I'll see you next time. Bye.